everyone to Wellness Wednesday. So excited to be here with you guys. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, wonderful evening, morning, wherever you are in the world, whenever you are watching this. I know we've got some jumping on live, some watching the recording. I'm on Facebook and we're on Insta. We've got it all happening, all platforms going. Okay, so if you are watching on Insta, make sure you go jump into the Facebook Hub to get access to the handout and to also go into the draw for the weekly giveaway. This is a good one. You're going to love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, so I want to get straight into it. I want to share a story. I'm going to start with a story tonight, but before I do, I want to ask you guys, have you ever felt yourself feeling really stuck? Have you ever found yourself doing overwhelm? Have you ever found yourself, really struggling to decide what action to take, and maybe even then deciding that it's all too hard and perhaps not doing anything? If so, I get you. I feel you. I've been there. So I want to share with you a story, and so tune in. It's story time with Tara. So it's booked. He said, we're doing this. They're picking us up at 7 a.m. I can't do it. I really can't do it, she said. Yes, you can, he replied. So the whole way there, she had butterflies in her stomach. She had never done this before. He'd done it once or twice and he seemed so strong and confident, and she trusted him. So she thought, okay, I know that he's got my best intentions at heart, so I'm going to trust him and I'm going to do this. He just knew that she would get so much out of it despite being scared. So she put on her vest, her rashi and her shoes, and she jumped on the board. She thought, do I really have this in me? Can I really do this? What if I fall and hurt myself? What if I do it and then I can't do it anymore? She was just all these things playing through her head. And then she entered the water and she felt the nerves start to subside as her instructor held onto the back of her board and gently guided her, pushing her off, helping her to catch her first wave. I did it, she screamed. I knew you would, he said. This was my first experience surfing in Bali. We went back the next day, day 2, and it got easier, but it also rained. So I want to share that story because I want to ask you, are you ready to get unstuck? If you are, then tune in for the next 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to share with you some really great tips and really exciting announcement that I've got coming up that's happening next week to support you even further if you're wanting to dive deeper into this. Okay, so if you've got your handout from the hub, you'll see that I've got 3 sections there that you can fill in the blanks to help you. I'm empowering you guys to take action, to be accountable for yourselves. So why do we get stuck? There are 3 universal fears that we all face: fear of not being loved, fear of not being enough, and fear of being caught out. We all play out 1, 2, or 3 of these throughout our lifetime in different situations, different circumstances, different times in our life. Fear of not being loved, fear of not being enough, and fear of being caught out. So ask yourself, bring to mind now something that you've been struggling with, something that you're feeling stuck with. Bring that to mind now and ask yourself, which one am I doing? Which one of these am I doing? Am I doing the not feeling like I'm not loved, feeling like I'm not enough, or feeling like I'm getting caught out? And think about, okay, what does caught out mean to me? Because it can mean different things to different people. Some people think imposter, some people think doing something wrong. So it's whatever you make it mean. And then close down your eyes, really close them down, go inward and ask yourself, if I knew the first step, what would it be? Too often we're searching for all the answers outside us. And my role as a coach is to say to you, start tuning in and listening into your own body, what your own body is telling you. There's ways that you can do this. And I'm actually going to share with you now. This is a really powerful tool. So some of you may have seen I came back from my NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming Training Advanced Coaching course last week. Amazing 7 days of just an incredible toolbox that helps us to get unstuck from where we are to where we want to be. Excuse me. So this is an activity that you can do right now, or if you're watching the recording. And I suggest you do it when you're feeling stuck and when you're dealing with those challenging decisions. So closing down your eyes and imagine a time in your life where you felt totally congruent. You felt so congruent, so aligned. It was 100% yes. You felt so good. You're like, yes, I'm doing this. This is a yes. I'm congruent. And notice in that moment of congruency, see what you see what you saw in that moment. Hear what you heard in that moment and feel what you felt in that moment. Where do you feel it in your body? Notice it. Notice that feeling. Does it have any colors and shapes? Does it have like weather systems? Just give it some descriptive words of where is that feeling in your body. Notice that. Then when you're ready, open your eyes. Do a little dance. And then when you're ready, so notice that if you like taking notes, note down where your congruency feels, where you feel it in your body, what it feels like, if it's heavy or light, where it is. And then when you're ready, close down your eyes again. And we're going to do this for a time where you felt incongruent. So a time where it was a no. It was maybe out of obligation. You ended up doing it out of obligation, or you said no. A time that you felt incongruent in your life. Go back to that time. See what you saw. Hear what you heard. And feel what you felt. Notice where you feel that incongruency, that nut in your body. Once you've got that, open your eyes and shake it off. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Okay. So this is an activity that you can come back to when you're stuck and you're like, oh, what action should I take? Should I do this or should I do this? Or maybe a big decision you're making. Is this congruent or is it not? Close down your eyes and ask yourself, okay, is this a decision that's congruent with me? If I do X, should I do X? And notice where you feel it in your body. Ask yourself a question. The quality of our life is determined by the quality of the questions we ask ourselves. If we ask ourselves shitty questions, why me? Why is this happening to me? We're going to get shitty answers. But if we think, why me? We get very different answers. Asking yourself questions to find those answers to what you need to know. Okay, so if you've had enough of the overwhelm, if you've had enough of the stuckness, there are some super simple techniques that you can do right now to get unstuck. If you look back on the Wellness Wednesdays from this year, you will see most of them in there. This is my role and my purpose in life, is to get people unstuck, to get them enhancing their energy, embracing their enoughness. And we do this by mindset, first and foremost. 80% of anything we do is mindset. So if you are feeling like you're stuck, you could use the brain champion technique. You could use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 5-second rule from Mel Robbins. You could also use the visualizing technique I spoke about. I think that was even last year, about how to get motivated. There's a blog on my website, how to get motivated when times are tough, when you're struggling. Like last year, we went through so much, and I had a business to run. I had family. I had health goals, like all of these things, and the last thing I could physically felt like doing was getting out of bed. So for me, it was that 15 minutes. Okay, visualize 15 minutes after the event, and the event is done. Notice what I'm seeing, hearing, and feeling because I've taken action on that. So there's so many techniques that we can use that are going to help you to drive this action. Test them out. They're going to be different for everyone. What works for one person won't necessarily work for another. But at bare minimum tonight, if you simply want to take away the fact that you ask yourself, which fear am I doing? Fear of not being loved, fear of not being enough, fear of being caught out, and then closing down your eyes, doing the congruency test and asking, okay, if I knew the first step, what would it be? If you simply did that and tuned in and listened and just went with your gut or your intuition on what the first step is, then this simple tool is going to help you to get unstuck. If you want to dive deeper, if you've maybe done that before and you feel it's not working, or maybe you feel like you want it to be done with you, like you're the kind of person who's like, yeah, don't really want to do it myself and go off on my own, but I want it done with me, I want support, then I'm so bloody excited to announce this. I'm doing a webinar on Monday night. It's at 8 p.m. Australian Daylight Savings Time, so New South, Sydney time. And I am opening this up for 10 people to join me. And the reason there's only 10 people is because I pride myself on giving value to people and making things personalized and exclusive. So this is open for 10 people who jump in now and want to join me on Monday. It's an hour webinar video call, and we're going to go through what's holding you back. So look, we're actually going to identify which areas in your life require more support. We're going to look at why it's holding you back. We're going to dive deeper more into the fears. And then we're going to look at how to take action. So we're going to look at 8 super simple questions that you can ask yourself to take action towards getting unstuck, to get going. It's going to be an hour. You're going to get your circle of life. We're going to go through that. There's going to be the 8 questions that you get. You get more of an in-depth explanation of how the coaching will work and how it can support you in the hour. We'll talk more about the handbrakes on life with fear. And you're going to walk away with an individualized strategy. Like I will sit on this call with the 10 of you and we will actually work out, by coaching you and questioning you, you're going to walk away with a plan for you in the area where you're feeling stuck the most, so we can start to get some traction for you. It might be gut health, it might be hormone health, it might be food, it might be exercise, it might be mindset, it might be self-care. I don't know what it's going to be. It's like a toolbox of things, but it's based on your goals and what you want to achieve. So I'm going to throw in a heap of bonuses too. Why? Because I love to over deliver for you guys. I want to be a person of value, and I want to see you on that webinar, because this is life-changing, absolutely life-changing. I met with a friend yesterday and she's like, why are you so strong? Like, how do you do this? Life comes up and how do you bounce back? And I thought, yeah, what is my answer? The answer is I have this toolbox of health and well-being knowledge and the toolbox of my coaching with NLP. And it's just honestly life-changing. So if it's not you, please share this with someone that you feel is stuck right now and would love some support with this. I'd love to help you with this. I've got the link for the webinar. Better tell you where that is so you can access it. Hey, on Facebook, it's on the top of the caption. On Instagram, it's over in the bio, in the Linktree bio on, the link that you click on in my profile. It's just says webinar, how to, they get unstuck hacks that no one tells you, the get going webinar. So guys, I trust that's been helpful. Remember to focus on asking yourself high quality questions. So asking those high quality questions of which one am I doing? Which fear am I doing? Not being loved, not being enough, caught out. And if I knew the first steps, what would it be? Because you do, you know it. You've got this. More support. Join me on Monday. Have a beautiful Wellness Wednesday, and I'll see you all next week. Lots of love.